We got engaged in September, and
September 20th?
September 20th. And it seemed like, even though people will say like, oh wow, that's really soon, because we had already known that we were getting married in July. As it gets closer, it just I don't feel like we are like really behind. I feel like everything that needs to be taken care of has been taken care of, but
I don't feel like we're ahead either, though.
it was West Side Story was when we met and didn't really know each other, and then Will Rogers Follies we became friends, and then you went back to school. She was away at school, you know, during all these, in between all of these summers, she was at Marquette, so I would go up to Milwaukee and visit a lot of times with other people, or I didn't go by myself until later. And then the following summer we did Hair, and then we did My One and Only, it was called.
Yeah.
And by that point we were very close. I think something just bit me. Stick with Julia Roberts. She was the Julia Roberts of summer theater. She was the prettiest, least accessible girl. I mean, not that you were unfriendly or anything. She was very friendly and willing to talk to anybody, but just like everybody knew, you don't stand a chance with her. Meeting was sort of this where we both found out that we read the same film critic religiously. A very minor thing, but as it turns out, something that's very important to both of us. And I didn't know that about her. I just knew that she was this very pretty girl. She was a good dancer, and we didn't talk that much. So I was like, what? Oh, she likes movies? And then I found out she works at Blockbuster, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of great. And then she drove this like beater car. It was
the laser.
The laser. It was
silver laser.
It was a silver laser, and it was like this beater. And very slowly, like, sort of any preconceived notions that I had about her, not that they were negative, kind of went away.
So the first thing, I didn't really meet Patrick right away because I came home and I got involved in the show again and was coming to rehearsals and things, but I was hanging out more with my friends who I had been doing the shows with for a long time, Norkay and Dina and Steve. And I guess the first thing I heard about him was that our choreographer on the show told us, oh yeah, you know, that's Patrick, he's a new kid, you know, to the community theater or whatever. He's new. I worked with him at Elk Grove High School. He's like their theater star. He's the best. He's so talented. He's great. Everybody loves him, you know, and he's just the most talented theater guy they have at Elk Grove. And so that's kind of all I had to go on with Patrick.
And I think it's funny that she said she was going on and on about me being some theater guy, because meanwhile I was playing, you know, shark number 12.
I know.
I'm a star.
Time went on, and my friends sort of became friends with him and his best friend Doug, and so there was like kind of a circle of friends that formed, but I wasn't a part of it for a long time. And so everything I heard about him was that he was really funny and really smart and really nice, and he loved movies, but I didn't get to know him for a long time. And then eventually when I did, I realized that there was a lot more behind the sort of sarcastic, witty humor and the movie knowledge, but that he was really, really smart and sensitive and sweet and romantic.
And that was the ultimate trick I ever played on her, because there is nothing beneath the sarcasm, and that's it. That's as deep as I go. I have no subtext whatsoever. When we first started hanging out again, this was like the summer of '98, and we would go to play rehearsal, and then afterwards we would try and organize all of our friends going to a movie. And this was the summer movie season, so it was just every big dumb movie you can imagine. So I think the very first one we went to see was Godzilla, which, I don't know if you've seen it, it's easily the most romantic film of the past 50 years. It did take a long time. It was a total fluke, actually.
Really?
Yeah, it was that stupid Drew Barrymore movie.
Oh.
And it was just like you were in the area.
Oh, yeah.
It was like 9:30, and you called and said, do you want to go see a movie? So we went and caught like a 10 o'clock movie, but even that didn't start to happen regularly for a long time.
But Erica made the first move.
She did.
She called Patrick.
Nice. well, for a long time, and of course this sounds bizarre as soon as I say it, but for a long time, There's Something About Mary was a movie that take away all the like the weird, gross stuff and all that, and ultimately was this story of this dorky guy who really loved this girl who was beautiful and all the guys wanted to date, and they were friends for a long time, and finally she realized like, oh, I want to be with him too, and that's how the movie ends. And so when we were first kind of hanging out, I used to go see that movie a lot by myself, like when Erica wasn't around, just to kind of be reminded of that feeling. A movie that we end up going back to a lot is Notting Hill with Julia Roberts and Hugh Grant. And we didn't even see it together. She saw it up at college and I saw it with my mom and my sister. But we went to a different movie one night, and when that was over, our friends were over in Notting Hill, so we went over to Notting Hill to, you know, pick them up or whatever, and it was the very end, and it just kind of had, it's a really sweet end, and kind of had special significance to us, so I think I had my arms around you at that point. And
that was big, yeah, that was big. We started looking at rings together last summer, because we knew that we would get engaged in the next year. So we started looking at rings, and Patrick just, I think, wanted to get an idea of what I kind of liked, and so we looked at a few different places, and then we found a stone that I liked because I wanted princess cut square, and I liked that, and we found a nice one, and then I found a band that I liked, and then I was kind of out of it from that point on.
For one reason or another, there was a problem getting it, and I wasn't able to that night, and here I am thinking I got all these people coming tomorrow to propose, and I don't have a ring. So I remember my sister frantically driving me around Plainfield trying to correct the situation. So I ended up talking to your mom and Chris that night and sort of explaining them the situation, and they ended up being able to help out a lot so that by the time they were able to go get it, so by the time I got there on Saturday night, it was actually when I hugged her mom hello, she passed me the ring right in front of Erica. She was standing right next to me, and it was hi, hi. I took the ring, stuck it in my pocket, and it all ended up working out, but not without a great deal of stress and chaos.
There, it looked like every family party my family has ever thrown. There was nothing to indicate anything else, so I assumed it was Chris's surprise birthday party. And then I finally made my way over to the cake, which was this huge cake, and I did think to myself for a second, it's pink and purple. Why'd they get Chris, who's a man, a pink and purple cake? So then I looked at it, and it had a heart of flowers, and in the heart it said, Erica, will you marry me?
Waiting for Chris. Chicken, potatoes. Yeah.
Fancy cake.
Okay. She said yes!